If you've ever been betrayed before, you know the pain that it causes goes very deep and is directly proportional to the level of trust that you had in the person or entity that betrayed you. The more dependent you were, the deeper the wound, and it can be hard to recover from the damage that it creates for you. I'm Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. Today, I'm answering a viewer question from DK who asked, what kind of therapy cures betrayal rumination, non-relationship? I've tried CBT and it didn't help. Which doctor would be best to treat this kind of condition? Thank you, DK, for your question. What exactly is betrayal rumination? While it's not an official diagnosis, it's a term coined by Dr. Jennifer Freyd, a renowned psychologist who's done extensive research on the impact of betrayal trauma. Rumination is the act of replaying negative events or experiences over and over in your mind, and the thoughts have no problem-solving benefit to it. It's like thinking just for the sake of thinking, and what you're thinking about causes you distress. With betrayal rumination, you have thought spirals about how someone or something has harmed you and betrayed your trust. And I include something because it doesn't have to be a person. It could be an institution that you're dependent on, like your workplace. The emotions associated with this kind of rumination are typically shame, anger, or sadness. Dr. Freyd's research highlights how betrayals can shatter our sense of safety and trust, leaving us vulnerable to a phenomenon that she calls darvo. Darvo stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. It's a manipulation tactic often used by those who have abused or betrayed us and to deflect responsibility from their actions and maintain control. Here's how it breaks down. D stands for deny. The abuser denies the wrongdoing or minimizes its severity. They may say you're exaggerating or misremembering or lying. And they're not just superficially dismissing you. In their minds, they really believe that what you're alleging didn't happen, or if it did, it wasn't that bad. So they may say things like, you're blowing things out of proportion, it wasn't that bad, or you're too sensitive, I didn't mean it like that. A stands for attack. The abuser attacks your character, credibility, or motives. They may even blame you for provoking the abuse or betrayal with statements like, you know you get under my skin, or you're always starting a fight with me, you just don't know when to quit. Then RVO stands for reverse victim and offender. Here, the abuser assumes the victim role in the situation. They twist things to look like they were wronged. How does darvo cause betrayal rumination? Being betrayed can make you struggle with self-doubt. Then the darvo tactics ramp up those feelings, making it even harder to process the betrayal and move forward. Darvo can erode your sense of self-esteem and confidence and increases your rumination as you try and make sense of the conflicting information. Also, the attacks can make you more vulnerable to self-blame and self-criticism. And if you buy into the victim-offender reversal, and sometimes it's hard not to if you have any sense of compassion for the person, you want to believe what they're saying, you can be left with a lot of confusion about what actually happened, and you may not trust your own judgment and instincts. Then you spend time ruminating about this even more to untangle the truth. So getting back to DK's question about what kind of therapy helps with this, acceptance and commitment therapy called ACT is a powerful and different approach to breaking free from this kind of rumination. A licensed therapist trained in ACT can deliver this kind of therapy. DK said CBT didn't work. Cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, approaches faulty thinking differently. It focuses on identifying and challenging negative thought patterns that contribute to rumination. So you're trying to change the way you think about the betrayal and the actions related to it. On the other hand, ACT addresses the problem from a totally different angle. With ACT, you're not suppressing or denying your thoughts or emotions. Instead, you learn to accept them and create space for them without letting them control you. It's about recognizing that thoughts are just thoughts, not facts, and that we don't have to believe everything our minds tell us. Rather than dismiss the thoughts, you use your connection to your values as an anchor to move through the emotions or take action despite the negative emotions. So that's a high-level view of what ACT does. Here are 4 specific techniques that you could use to address betrayal rumination. Number 1 is notice and name. When those ruminative thoughts and emotions arise, acknowledge them. Say to yourself, I am feeling fill in the blank, or I'm having the thought that I am worthless because I was betrayed. This is just an example. It seems pretty basic, but simply noticing and naming your thoughts creates distance between you and the emotion or thoughts and reduces their power. Thinking about feeling worthless is less toxic than owning that you are worthless. Number 2 is using diffusion. This involves learning to see thoughts as just thoughts, not truth or facts. They're not commands and they don't define us. Try techniques like imagining your thoughts as leaves floating in the wind, or repeating them in a silly voice. The silly voice approach trivializes the thoughts and makes it seem less impactful. Number 3 is acceptance. Instead of fighting or suppressing difficult emotions, allow yourself to feel them, breathe into them. Notice the sensations in your body and give yourself permission to experience them without judgment. This is a mindfulness practice that connects you with the present moment by observing the sensations in your body using all of your senses while you experience these emotions. Number 4 is connecting with your values. Identifying what truly matters to you helps put things in perspective and allows you to move forward. Take some time to reflect on your core values. What's more important to you? Family, honesty, compassion? Write down these values and think about how you can live in alignment with them despite the betrayal that you experienced. During this process, remember that healing takes time and it's not always a linear path. So you have to be patient with yourself, seek support from loved ones or a therapist, and keep practicing these ACT techniques. You have the strength to move through this and emerge even stronger on the other side. Watch these videos for more on the topic of ruminating. Thanks for watching today. See you next time.